Wow, that was a really funny thing that I think was funny that happened when Trump was visiting. We all heard the story. Trump was visiting a Ford plant in Michigan, and some guy called him a pedophile protector, which is about right. He's been protecting Jeffrey Epstein all these years, and he obviously has been protecting other people because he said a lot of good people, a lot of his friends are going to get hurt if we release the Epstein files. So, but he flipped off a guy who called him a pedophile or pedophile protector. I thought that was hilarious. And I think go there on his little tour of trying to his ideals of awesome economy that is not happening. And he gets called out and he gets mad as usual. When Trump gets mad, he's just like a little child. And his middle finger, including at Ford, just another one of his little childish behaviors. So I don't think he's emotionally stable to he's unstable. He's just I don't know what is he thinks. I don't know what he thinks. Like I don't know what's going on through his mind. Like how can a human, like an adult, um behave like this? Jeez. Oopsie. Sorry, I got disconnected there. But let's see. My poll says is question is Donald Trump too emotionally unstable to run the country? And so far we got 2 votes, and one says yes, he's too unstable, and one no. So all right. Hi guys. It's Wednesday, so I do my little hiding from the bright streetlight here, waiting in a car for my daughter for my activity. So I get a chance to do a little live talk here for 45 minutes or so. So, yeah, he's been, let's see here. I got 3 votes. I got 33%. Yes, he's unstable, and 67. Yeah, so we'll see how the vote goes down today. See how many of my MAGA friends are in a crowd and how many of my non-MAGA friends are in a crowd. And if you used to be former MAGA and switch sides, we would love to hear from you in the comments and tell us why. And also, if you maybe were a Democrat and then you switched just recently, or independent or whatever, and switched to MAGA, maybe you can also tell us why you switched recently. Because I am curious why people do that. Like my perception, my point of view, my opinion of Donald Trump has not changed since the day I found out he was running for president. So that nothing has changed. I saw him as the same person I see today. I just see him deteriorating quite a bit mentally lately, and maybe he was always this way, but he's displaying quite few more traits of mental instability. And I remember when he was making fun of a reporter doing his little thing on the on live TV, and he used to call certain women fat and pigs, and he always said, "No, I only call Rosie O'Donnell that." He's just, I don't know. Like I don't know if who in the right mind can listen to him more for more than 10 minutes and say that he's stable. I don't know. But anyway, hello everyone here. Hello. This is Dariel Herrera. Hello. Hi, Chino Trojo. And let's see. Looks like talking Kitty Kafton. She's been unstable. She's been. He is that a she? I'm assuming it's a she. Has been unstable lately. Yeah, I'm sure. Most of us probably are feeling uneasy with the whole ICE thing going on, because they're no longer going after immigrants. They're not even going after immigrants who are criminals. They're killing now United States citizens. So I just watched a video a few minutes ago from another United States citizen who was on his way to work. He happens to be a Mexican guy, right? That was born in the United States, and he he was on his way to work, and he pulled over because there was ICE agents on the road, and he just walked out of the car. He says he's trying to get through. He's not part of any protest. Can he drive through? And they told him to get back in his car, and he just tried to drive away. And they smashed his window. They held him, detained him. They pepper sprayed him, and they took him and they literally put him in detention for 4 days or 3 days, something like that. And so this guy was doing nothing wrong. He was on his way to work. The only thing that he did wrong, not that he did anything wrong, the only thing that ICE saw wrong with him is that he was a brown guy. So that's the only reason. Let's see. And then Talking Kitty is with this whole smashing my head against the dresser thing when I fell out of bed. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Medical injuries, I guess. Yeah, I see those every day at work, so I can definitely sympathize with you. So, oh boy. So let's see. So, we're up to 12 votes, and 58% people think that he's is unstable, and 46, 54, 46 now. Still, we still have a majority of people thinking he's unstable. So, but anyway, either way, if you're MAGA, come vote. If you're liberal, whatever, however you identify, that independent, cast your vote. I really like to hear from everyone. And if you want to write down your opinion, why you think that is, I really appreciate that. I like to learn every day, and this is a learning opportunity for me. So, but anyway, getting back to the Ford plants today, that was great. Or yesterday, I should say, that was great. Now the UAW member got suspended. Ford suspended him, and he's gonna be back at work because guess what? That's union. And so I live right now in Florida, but I lived in Michigan, and I actually worked for one of the auto parts, one of the auto companies, Chrysler, back then. When I was a teenager, actually, I worked for a little bit, and actually for a couple of years during summertime as a summer replacement worker. And yeah, but so the union is pretty strong. The union is not going to let this guy go. And then union actually put out the vice president of the union of UAW put out a statement today that they are standing 100% behind the worker, and they're going to protect him because he has a contract negotiated, and his freedom of speech allows him to say whatever he wants, and they're not going to they're gonna fight Ford to make sure he's reinstated. He started a GoFundMe page, or someone started for him, and already got $600,000. So I'm thinking to myself, maybe next time Trump is here down here in Mar-a-Lago, which I'm about 30 minutes from Mar-a-Lago, maybe I'll get myself a big poster of Trump and Epstein and put in a couple questionable words on it, and then see if they harass me, and then maybe I can get my own. No, I'm kidding. I don't do that. But anyway, see, Talking Kitty Cat fan. I am the only one watching. Well, according to my little thing, it says there's 5 people watching. But thank you for watching, Talking Kitty Cat fan 2123. Subscribe, and then we can do this again in a week or so. And often I actually go online on my way to either on my way to work or on my way from work. I usually run a little quiz to find out what people think about current situations, whether it's healthcare, whether it's politics, or whatever's hot. But healthcare and politics are my 2 current favorite ones. So yeah. People join. It said 2. Yeah, it says 2 or 3. It changes, depends. I ran a live on Saturday, and there was so many people joining that actually the YouTube thing told me that I reached my limit of how many people can join my live, and they said they're going to increase the limit for next live. So, and I haven't hit the the new limit, and actually haven't seen as many people, but I think there was like 9,000 views for over an hour when I was discussing ICE, right? So we had a discussion about ICE, and I think how ICE is now, unfortunately, um, I mean, for lack of better words, they're behaving like Nazis did. So um, there's just no other words. And if you don't think so, that means you haven't read history books, you haven't seen history, you don't understand the history of World War II and how all that went down. So I encourage everyone to look into history books. And then you can't really say that history books are fake news because many were written a long time ago. So I encourage everyone to open up a physical book, get away from the phone, open up a physical book and read on how Hitler got into power and what tactics he used. And if you just basically substitute Hitler's name and put Trump's name into the reading, you'll see that there's too many parallels to um, to say this is not a coincidence. So, yeah. Let's see. Staring at the screen for 13 hours. Talking kitty cat fan. So why are you staring at the screen? My goodness, 13 hours? That's a lot. But yeah, no. I don't know if I could do 13 hours. I stare at a computer screen at work for too many hours. But anyway, let's see. We are, let's see, 53-47. So still majority of the folks who came here and cast their vote, they think that Trump is too unstable to run a country. So I don't know. I did it's interesting because I did a poll 3 days in a row. I did the same poll about saying that is ICE wrong, right? That ICE murder Renee Good. And for the first 2 days, I had about 65% people said yes, and the remainder said no. And then the very last day, I had 80% people said no, or 87% people said no, and 20% people said yes. So it's interesting to find a mix of various audiences. Even though you're doing the exact same thing 3 days in a row, different people come into your lives. So, oh my goodness. So anyway, let's see. The only thing I can do not to get an anxiety attack. I mean, we can talk healthcare or anxiety. I think. I mean, yeah. I mean, I get maybe I don't get anxiety attacks, but I do get anxious about what is to come, right? As a father of 3 kids, first one is in college, first year. Then there's one in 10th grade and one finishing up middle school this year. I don't know what's gonna happen to them. I don't know what kind of world we're expecting with. Right, he is anti-education, and my kids are heavy into education, right? So, um, my daughter's in an honors college. She's gonna study medicine. My middle one, she wants to be an orthodontist, and then my son, whatever he's gonna do, he says he wants to buy an island for himself. So, um, hopefully it will be, hopefully all their dreams will come true. But honestly, I don't know. I fear that, if you look at the Department of Education, how it's being run right now, the fighting between Trump and universities and educational, systems that have been there in place for a long time. He wants to control everything. He wants to control how what information is out there. It's mind-boggling that I see 50% of people think that Trump is still emotionally stable to run a country. Like I don't like so like is that what happens at home? You get into fight with your wife or your kids and you just flip them off, and that's how you guys deal with all your issues. Same way as Trump is. I mean, I don't know. He just fires people right and left. Like the most accurate show about how Trump is was his Apprentice, right? He just looked at people like, you don't like you, like you're fired, and he didn't hold back on his commentary why he'd fire them, and so he's doing that now in government. Whether these people are working hard, whether these people are slacking off, he's firing everybody right and left. And during his first administration, I think it was 64 people got charged with fraud from his first administration, and he let go. I don't know how many people he went through for certain positions, but he went through so many people because the minute that these people would say, "Listen, Mr. President, this is not right. This goes against the law, or this is going to put us in jeopardy," then he'll just fire them for no reason, because they didn't agree with him. And like, I don't know how we even got through COVID with him, because the disease ran its course, the vaccines helped out, but he's not emotionally stable. So, but anyway, talking kitty cat fan, if you're still here, anxiety. I don't know what triggers your anxiety. Like, what's going on? Maybe we can do a group therapy session here. I mean, I'm here. I definitely, I can help. I'm not a therapist, although part of my job is to be understanding and therapeutic with my patients for the last 26 years. So I put people at ease before major procedures that they undergo with me. So um, I don't know. Tell me about your anxiety, or tell us. Maybe sharing something out into the world, maybe that will help. I firmly believe that bottling up your problems is the worst way to go. Sharing your problems, especially here on the internet, basically all of us are anonymous, except for me, obviously, because you see my face. But I don't know what you look like. I don't know where you're from, but I would love to help with your anxiety in some way or another. Anxiety, anxiety is high. So, but anyway, and if you guys are here hearing me, and you see this poll here, and you're voting one way or the other, drop a comment. Let me know. Let all of us know, why do you think that Donald Trump is either stable or unstable emotionally to run the country? I personally believe he's not stable, but I mean, let me know. I mean, this whole middle finger incident today with UAW, that's what that was crazy, right? So, well, it was yesterday, but it's on the news all over today. So I wish I could add that little. I don't have it, but the UAW, like I said, they released a formal statement saying that they are with the worker that told Donald Trump off. Well, he called him a pedophile protector, and then Trump flipped him off, and he got suspended by Ford. But the UAW is with him. So, so anyway, maybe we can do a different poll here. I want to see. Let's see. Let's do a different poll. So let's ask maybe the following question, because starter poll. Let's see. Do you think, let's see here, that Greenland will become part of USA? Starter poll. Yeah, so there was actually a representative of Denmark and Greenland today at the White House. They were meeting with White House officials. So I'm curious. I'm curious if, I mean, I know so I think I know the answer. The answer is no, they're not going to. I mean, it's a sovereign country. They're not asking for any help. They don't want any help. But Trump insists that he wants to help them for some odd, strange reason. So, what do you guys think? Do you think this is going to happen, or like I have doubt? I am doubtful. I'm going to say no on my end. I wish I could vote and just say no, but I can't vote. Somebody said yes. And why do you think that will happen? So if United States does attack Greenland, because that's the only way that we're going to get Greenland, then that means we're going to be in a violation of NATO treaty, and basically you're going to be attacking all the other NATO countries, and there's quite a few of them. So and United States sells a lot of things to other NATO countries, right? So all they have to do is stop buying, and they're going to start buying things from China. And what are we going to do then? Right? We export a lot of stuff. Trump destroyed all of our exports and imports with his tariffs. So now he's threatening to take over a sovereign nation that has I don't even know, like this is why my previous poll was, is he too emotionally unstable to run a country? Because that's emotionally unstable to go after another country that done nothing wrong to us, didn't ask for any help, no one's bothering them, but yet Trump is going crazy. Why? I mean, is this like end stage dementia where he's just making shit up in his head, and this is what we get? Or I mean, what is it? Like, I mean, anybody have any insights? Mm-hmm. Let's see. Kitty. Talking kitty cat fan. I'll stay for a couple more minutes and then I'm gonna go back to thinking about the dresser incident. I'm the only one here. Never mind, someone joined. Well, talking. I'm gonna just call you Kitty. So, Kitty, um, this this dresser incident. You said you hit your head on this dresser, and so what's going on with that? So that was just, I guess, you and me now. So I think you're the only one here. So, um, are you afraid you're gonna hit your head again, or I mean, is that making you? I mean, does it? So first of all, did this incident like give you some sort of a concussion? Are you dizzy now? Are you, or is it some sort of a PTSD incident? What's happening? You know. And thank you for being here again. Um, so, um, I because I'm not, I don't have, I don't have all the details here of what happened. Um, and I don't want to keep you staring at the screen here and talking to a random stranger. But again, sometimes talking to a random stranger helps. Um, I, I I wish I could be helpful. I want to be helpful. I mean, I spend my I spent 26. This is my year 27 working in healthcare. Um, so this is what I do. I'll take off my glasses because they're driving me nuts. This is what I do. Um, and so if you want to share more, maybe we can talk about it. And I'm sure whoever's here can be supportive as well because want to help people. So we've got some lights in here. So it looks like my poll is not going very well. 2 people, and we're at 50-50. So again, um, not much info. But so yeah, Kitty, we can talk about you. I wish there was like a two-way thing where you could talk and I could talk, and I think sometimes you can just like do an invite and have a conversation. But um, yeah. Mm-mm-mm. So if you joined us here, cast your vote. Tell us what you think. Me personally, I'm gonna say no because it's just crazy to think that we're gonna attack another country that has nothing to do with us. But um, I encourage anyone who's joining us here, cast your vote. You don't have to stick around, but I'm just curious, where you stand on this issue. Um, it's crazy enough, but yeah. But my original assumption is that Trump is too unstable to run the country, and whatever he does, um, this whole thing at the Ford plant yesterday and everything else. So looks like people are leaving. So um, yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna take off as well and go for a walk. So um, talking kitty cat fan, if you want to talk more, you can always subscribe to my channel, and then through there you can maybe message me, and we can have a conversation. Can definitely help if you want help. I offer that. Um, talking doesn't hurt, and as someone who works in healthcare, I keep things confidential and private. But otherwise, I want to say goodbye, and that's it for tonight. So, you guys have a good evening. Thank you for joining me here. And I'm glad that another vote here that says no. So I have hope for our country here. So good night, guys.